Welcome to the Middle School Cafe podcast, where we're serving up fresh strategies and solutions for ELA teachers just like you. Join us as we explore proven methods to bridge the achievement gap and help every student reach their full potential. Whether you're a veteran teacher or just starting out, grab a cup of coffee and a notepad and let's get started. Here's your host, Carolyn Wall.
Hello, teacher friends. Welcome to the Middle School Cafe podcast. Today, we are continuing our Back to School strategy series. We've been talking about things we can do at the beginning of the year to build community and routines. You'll hear me use the phrase, start slow to go fast later. What I mean by that is, if we take the time now to create a supportive learning environment and teach the strategies and routines our students need, we'll be able to dig deeper into our content as the year goes on. Let's talk about something that sounds simple but is often incredibly challenging, getting students to talk to each other. Now, I don't mean chatting about the weekend or who's dating who in the hallway. They don't need help with that one. I mean authentic, classroom-based peer-to-peer conversations that build understanding, promote engagement, and create a sense of community. We know from experience that when students talk about what they're learning, they take it in more fully. It helps them make sense of the material, connect ideas, and start to really own their learning. But that's easier said than done. A lot of students don't want to speak up in class, and I get it. Sharing your thoughts out loud, especially in front of your peers, takes a lot of courage. And for many of our students, that kind of courage doesn't come easily. There are many reasons why talking in class feels hard for them. Maybe they're afraid of being wrong. Maybe they're worried their classmates will judge them. Or maybe they've had experiences where they did speak up and it didn't go well. Their ideas got ignored or shut down. Or maybe they just don't feel confident yet. And sometimes they're just unsure what we even want from them. So when we say, turn and talk, or share your thoughts, and we get blank stares or total silence, it's often not defiance. It's hesitation. Today, I want to talk through a few ways to ease students into academic conversations. Build their confidence early so they will engage later. Let's start with the foundation, making students feel safe talking at all. One of the biggest mistakes we can make early in the year is asking students to dive straight into meaningful or emotional discussions, especially before they've had a chance to warm up. Students need to feel comfortable with their classmates and with you before they'll open up about something vulnerable or controversial. At the beginning of the year, I like to build in lots of low-risk, low-pressure opportunities to talk. These are fun, easy prompts that don't require deep thinking or emotional risk, but they still get students participating. Here are a few of my favorites. Would you rather questions, like, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? You could have them share answers in a small group, or use your classroom to get students up and moving where they move to one side of the room or the other to show their answer. Would you rather questions are fun and promote natural conversation? You could use warm-up questions like, what is your favorite movie, book, or video game? Or what is one word to describe your weekend? These quick questions are perfect as a warm-up. You can toss one out and do a fast whip around. Just 2 or 3 minutes to let every student say something aloud. No pressure to explain or justify their answers. Just give their answer and move on. These low-risk conversations aren't just fluff or time fillers. They build speaking confidence, create classroom norms around respectful listening, and help you learn about your students. All of that matters when we're trying to build community. Once students have had a chance to share a little and laugh a little, then we're ready to move into something a little deeper, but still safe. Not every student feels comfortable speaking out loud, even in low-risk settings. Some students need more think time. Others are just introverted and do better when they can process quietly before they share. That's where written peer conversations come in. And honestly, as an introvert myself, one of my favorite ways to ease students into peer interaction is through something I call mini blogging. At the beginning of the year, I always start with something silly or light. I'll throw out a fun prompt like, is cereal a soup? Something that makes them smile or roll their eyes a little, but gets them writing without stress because there is no right or wrong answer. Then I ask students to respond in writing, just a quick, informal response. Nothing polished, nothing graded, just get your ideas down. It's more like journaling or a quick write. The point is to help students find their voice on paper. Once everyone's written their response, I have them walk around the room and read what their classmates wrote. As they read, they leave sticky notes, comments, reactions, or follow up questions. And just like that, they're having a conversation without ever saying a word out loud. It's easy, low pressure, and it's a great way to help students start engaging with each other in a safe and meaningful way. Another strategy I love for building written conversations is using silent debates. It's especially helpful as you start moving toward more academic content. But just like with mini blogging, I always start with something light or silly so I can teach the strategy and get students comfortable interacting with each other. A favorite prompt to kick things off is a hot dog a sandwich? It's ridiculous, but that's the point, and students tend to have some very strong opinions about this question. They write a quick claim, then rotate to someone else's paper and write a rebuttal or counterpoint. No talking, just reading and responding in writing. After a few rounds, they've basically had a full debate without saying a word out loud. You can do this in pairs where no one is talking, or create teams where the team can discuss the rebuttal before writing their response. Once students understand how it works and get more comfortable with the format, then you can start weaving in more content-based prompts. Maybe it's about a character's motivation or a theme in a novel. You could also team up with the social studies or science teacher using topics from their curriculum. The possibilities are wide open. The real goal here isn't about building writing skills. It's about helping students learn how to engage with someone else's thinking in a respectful, thoughtful way. That's such an important skill, both in and out of the classroom. And for students who are a little hesitant to speak up, these written conversations can be a game changer. Writing first gives them space to think, to reflect, and to build the confidence they need to eventually join those bigger classroom discussions. If this is something you'd like to try but you're not quite sure where to start, I'll drop some links in the show notes to blog posts and a resource you can use to walk your students through it step by step. Try it out and see what kind of conversations unfold when students are given the space to think and respond in a way that works for them. Once students have had some time to get comfortable with each other and with the idea of sharing their thoughts, it's time to start bringing in more structured conversations. This is where turn and talk comes in, but with some added structure. We've all been there. You say to your class, turn and talk about, and suddenly chaos, or worse, total silence and blank stares. So instead of just saying, turn and talk about whatever, give really clear directions. Tell them exactly what they are going to talk about. Let them know who their partner is, whether it's the person next to them, behind them, across from them, whatever works in your room. Then tell them who's going to speak first and how long each person gets to share. So it might sound like this. Turn to your elbow partner and talk about how the main character changed. The person whose birthday is closest to today will go first. You'll each have 30 seconds. I give them a signal to start. And yes, I set a timer. And yes, I actually interrupt them halfway through to say, okay, switch. That way both students get a chance to speak. They might feel a little robotic at first, but that structure gives every student a clear role, a clear expectation, and a fair shot at participating. And over time, that structure becomes routine. They know what to expect, and it makes it so much easier for students, especially the quiet ones, to join in. You can also start embedding expectations like, when your partner is speaking, your job is to nod, listen, and make eye contact. This way you are building both speaking and listening skills. The beauty of structured turn and talks is that it feels safe and productive. It's not a free-for-all, it's a routine, just like anything else we teach. Helping students talk to each other academically takes time, structure, and a little creativity. But it pays off. Whether it's through lighthearted warm-ups, silent blogging, or structured turn and talks, these early steps build the confidence and community our students need to thrive all year long. And while getting students to participate is one piece of the puzzle, we also know that some students are coming in already behind, especially when it comes to reading. In the next episode of our Back to School Strategy series, we're going to shift gears a bit and talk about ways to support struggling readers, how to build them up, help them find early success to keep them engaged without lowering expectations. If you found today's episode helpful, I'd love for you to share it with a teacher friend who's also getting ready to launch their classroom community. And don't forget to hit follow so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for listening today, and I'll see you next time. Until then. Thanks for joining me today. As a reminder, a new episode drops every first and third Tuesday, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Be sure to visit middleschoolcafe.com to find links to everything mentioned in today's show. Until next time.